As the students, you are the submitting one of the research paper. For example, you are the writing one of the research article. So the research article, basically the first content, choose the first title. So what is the topic you have chosen? Second one is the abstract. Third one is the introduction. And what is the objective of that you are the project work we are the doing? Writing the objectives and the research methodology. So what type of that methodology you have the following on that area? You have mentioned in the methodology. So after the hypothesis, so what is that main objective? How it will be get it? Whether the questionnaire method or interview method. So the methodology you have the applied research methodology. So there the research methodologies, several methods are there. Questionnaire methodology, application methodology, interview methodology, so many things. So what type of that approach we have the following on that research paper? So then only after the completion of that analysis, whatever you are observing in the questionnaire, you are the collecting the data, analyzing of the data. So as on that, we can mention the data analysis and literature, data analysis report. So once we have the completed the data analysis and report, after the conclusion, so what is the main agenda you have the conducting on that paper? You are the getting that information, you are the mentioning in the conclusion. And after that, you have the mention the bibliography. So that is called as a references. So in the references means in the individually, we did not to tell that any of that information. We have the collecting, we have the referred the some of the journals, some of the textbooks. So the textbooks, first of all, you have the mentioned the bibliography. That is called as a bibliography. The references books. What are the books we have the referred? That reference books we have the mentioned the serially, serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many books we have the referred? We have the mentioned the first books only. And after that, second one is the journals. So the first priority we have the mentioned the books. Second priority is the journals. And third priority is the conference proceedings. And fourth one is the symposiums or etc. etc. And the fifth one is the website sources. So these 5 components is called as a bibliographical database. So in this contemporary, we are the searching what is that bibliographical databases and search engines. So bibliographical databases and search engines, how it will be helpful to the user community. So basically the main aim is to studying the brief about the information in this regard. In the appreciation of the value of the CD-ROM, CDs is the gone away today is here. The secondary sources of bibliography information is called as a secondary sources of that information. So first source of that information, what is that first source of that information? Whether the publishing the journals, conference papers, that is the first information. For example, journal, they are the published. So why the textbooks is also secondary information. So first information is only for the research papers. For example, COVID is there. So COVID, what is the scenario? What is the program is the going on? What is the methodology is applied? COVID, what virus it will be reducing? That is the producing to the virus. What is that analysis? The research people, they are the applying and submitting the research paper. That is called as the first information. So first, there are the 3 information sources and services. In the MLISC classes, we have already studied. So what is that? The library information sources and services. The first, there are 3 types of the services. First one is the primary services. Primary services called as a before on that no one cannot to publish it. That is called as a first information. That is called as a primary sources. So just like as the example journal. Journal, it will be not published the previous of that information. Accurate new information, new research content of that information only it will be in this any journal it will be published. That is called as a first information. That is the primary information. Secondary information called as a bibliographical information. So that is called as a books, bibliographies. It is already published. So one textbook is there. It is already published. Journal is there. It will be a journal references. It is already published. So that is called as a references. In the 1970s onwards, the producing of the secondary of the information sources like indexing and abstracting services initially to the computers and proceeding the indexes. So what is that? The bibliographical references are called as indexes. So in the 1970s onwards or after that, the people will be those who are the publishing the textbooks, any of the journals. They are the preparing the indexing system. For example, in this academic year in the library sciences, how many books they are the publishing in the library in India or in the world wise. So that is called as we have taken one of the research survey. What is that one title? So how many books are published in this academic year in the field of LIS, Library and Information Sciences? So that is called as a indexing system. So in this academic year in India, publishing this much of the authors, this much of that books, they are the publishing. So that is called as a indexing of the information in the world wise. So that is those who are the publishing that books, that is called as a indexing system. So that's those who are the publishing the data, it will be there. That is called as a bibliography information or secondary information. So online systems right now, so the indexing system previously the manual system is gone. Today is the online system is came. So in this contemporary, everything is the managing with the computers and the communication technologies only. So in this online system, in the indexing databases is came. So that is the bibliographical index databases. So once you are the searching the database indexing, how many books you are the publishing in this year, easily to find out, it will be reflected in the online system only. Online vendors. So in the bibliographical databases also, so some free sources is there. Majority of the sources is the commercial sources. Online vendors are there. So vendors means they are the publisher, they are the selling of the people. So I have one product of the bibliographical database in the management sciences. I have my data. So I am a vendor. I am selling the information. So how did it be selling? I am collecting that entire that information in the world wise, in the management of the dedication in the 1952 till 2023. Those who are the publishing the all the information I am collecting and preparing the indexing of the system. The database I have the database. So that no one, I did not give to the any one of the people. The database is to me. So that's why I'm using this database. So that's why I'm selling the management database system. So anyone, any management of the school, the people will be asking, I will provide that information. So that is called as a vendor online system. That means vendor that can be selling by online only, just like as Amazon is there. So Amazon, if you need any one of that book to place the order, within a couple of days, we are getting that book only. So on that contemporary here, online vendors also selling that information and the end user and the targets. So what is that end user of the targets here the going on? End users basically they are the maintaining end users, especially end users target is what is that? I am the LIS of that profession in the librarian. So end user, what is the task? Those who are the asking that information only for that I am asking I am seeking the information only for LIS community. So on that basis, end user, those who are the asking that type of that information, vendors selling the potentiality of the searching of that made easiest of that way to the sending the information through the technologies. And the popular vendors in the world wise, in India wise, a number of the vendors are there. They're the popular vendors. The most of the popular online services like as a Dialogue. So Dialogue is one of the main vendor of the providing the corporate and the present taken to the that is the Night and Reader, that is the publisher presently taken by the Night and Reader. That is the Dialogue is one of the main vendor of the popular vendor to providing this information, bibliographical information. And also in the most popular vendors in the online services, there are ESA Iris. ESA Iris is the services in the European Space Agency. So there are also the providing the services of that bibliographical information services. Those the computers and located in the Fescati and Rome and the National Library of Medicine, that is the Washington DC. They are the providing in information and EBSCO. So EBSCO is called as a EBSC, EBSCO, Elton B. Stephen Company and Limited. The EBSCO is the worldwide. They are the sellers and publishers. They are the sending that information. So, for example, I am telling to you in the EBSCO, EBSCO. So, this stands for Elton B. Stephen Company Limited. They are the US based company. They are the publishing the IEEE online journals in the worldwide. For example, in the MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Stanford University, Harvard University, or in the IIT Hyderabad, IIT Gandhinagar, IIT India, IIT Indore, or any NITs, even though in the private engineering colleges, though the JNTU colleges or affiliation, any of the private colleges, they are the procuring the IEEE online journals to providing to the students and faculty fraternity purpose. So anywhere in the world ways, you can see in the IEEE, the database is the MIT students also same scenario, and also we are also accessing the procuring of data and accessing the same scenario. There is no changes. That is, the people will be EBSCO in the worldwide. They are the providing the bibliographical information or database management or content information here in the EBSCO is also one of the top vendor in the world in India. So in India, IEEE and management education, EBSCO is also the familiar in the management education. So these two databases vendor by in India, EBSCO, and also in the USA, and the bibliographical research, bibliographical retrieval services, that is called as a BRS. That is called not a Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti, please. So that is only for the USA. That is the bibliographical retrieval services. The bibliographical retrieval services in the USA acquired by the CD Plus Technologies. These all are there, the providing the online content of that information to the vendors in the worldwide. Some of the other major providings of the commercial databases service like BLIS. The BLIS is there, BLIS, BLIS. BLIS is the UK and HDC, CAS and online DAMDI, Germany. These several other vendors are also involved in the providing the online services. So this is the major vendors in the popular vendors is the basically here. This people is only for the vendors in the worldwide. They are the providing. The EBSCO is the familiar, and also in the bibliographical record services in the USA is also they are the providing the top online vendor popular services vendors in the worldwide. Not only for the India, in the worldwide they are the providing that all the informations. So that is the mainly, and also cost. So the cost is the searching of that, including the computer content hours in the cost communication and the cost of the searching output of that cost. The computer connecting to hours in the vendors charges. And the handy here, what is that the cost? So this is also one of the cost basis of the services. We have the engaging one of the database in the hours based system. So in the how many hours we are the accessing, we will cost based services. The services also they are the providing by the online vendors. This facility is also there. Among the various costs of that involved in the fee charges. So cost, for example, that is the IEEE database is there. So or otherwise research bibliographical database is there. So the people will be collecting the n number of the databases. For example, Agri A to Z, agriculture to zoology, botany, chemistry, and each and everything they are collecting. But we need only for the library sciences only. So remaining of all the databases, no need. So unnecessary we have to paid that lakhs of that money and using only the little bit of that information of LIS only. So it is the possible to me. So why should you waste of that money? So on that basis of that, the people will be providing the cost-based services of that methodology. They are the providing that information. So that means in the, for example, in the LIS, we need some of that basic information only if we need. So cost basis 1 hour or 2 hours where the searching certify that information, then only we are the procuring and using this database. That is one contemporary. And also CD-ROM and DVD databases. So nowadays is the database is gone. CDs and DVDs, that is the compact disc, and digital that is the DVD and CD. So CD disc, compact disc is nowadays is the all UPS is, that is the pen drive is came. So today is the hard disk is came. So n number of the databases will be stored in the data servers only. So no need in the previous days only around in the 1980s, 1990s on the day at the time in the floppies is came. So in the floppy disk, it will be only for the 2 GB of that in 1 GB of the information only there the storing in the floppy. Now it will be gone after that. The second generation is came. That is the compact disk. So the CDs is came. CDs is only for the little bit of the MB it will be storing. After that, the DVD is came. DVD is the maximum of that information it will be storing on the database. That is the data of that information, and it will be stored some of the places. In the top of that institution, for example, in the NPTEL is there, National Programming Technical Enhancing Learning. That is the Minister of HRD, they are the providing the online information. So online course informations of that technical education of the engineering system. And also in the MOOCs and Swayamprabha is there. In the ancient of the days, in the IGNOU, they are the following CD and DVD services. So some libraries in the before of that 1990s, they are the following up to the 2000 CD DVDs only. They are the stored the some of the video lectures and the movies in the DVD format and saving in the physical content of that information, retrieving in the database of the library area. So each of the track, each of the area in the alphabetical order, they are creating the CDC files. Once as the user, we are asking that people will be providing the CD and DVDs. So that methodology nowadays in the that is called as what is that laptops also they did not to come to the CD DVDs. This is the gone away the days. In the previous the data bit will be gone away. Today is the what is going on the UBS's game. So USB's game directly the people will be storing the data in the pen drives and hard disks only. So that contemporary changing of the technologies only. CD and CD-ROM and DVD database in the previously it will be working as the bibliographic content of that information. So the bibliography content of that information, the libraries, there the stored the information. For example, the library will be started around in the 1997. So it will be 25 years of that old library. They stored the how it will be stored that information at the days
Sir,
in the
DVDs. Paper, sir, this is 50 paper. 05 paper.
This is the 05 paper, please.
10th lesson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any doubt?
No, sir.
So this is the main thing, okay? CD and DVDs. This is one contemporary. CD and DVD RAM products. So CD DVD RAMs is the product is mainly generally what is that is the what is the purpose? They are using only storing of that information, storage of that information only. So how did it be storing of that information? Just like as a bibliographical content, the reference information they are the storing in the books or any one of that information in the CVD DVDs is easiest of that way to understanding of our library users. That is the mainly. And the hardware options. So today the hardware options, what type of that hardware options is there required through the single user of the system, CD DVD. CD DVD is what is that? That is single user only. So I have one CD, I have one DVD. How to I am reading only in the one user only. So the n number of the user they do not using it is not a possible because I have one CD, one laptop, one system. So one people can be watching that video. So any one of that information, that is the difficulty to entirely all the people they can use it, they can see the content. It is not possible. The single user of the single interface only, and there is no there is no drive in also multi-disk drives within the switch. That is the this is all our old contemporary of the data. That means right now it will be not working, and that this is only for hardware systems options. How it will be working? CVD and DVDs they are the mentioned here. Nowadays is the right now in the current of the generation there is no CD DVDs and all our UPS game all the people will be using the hard disks only. So the people will be storing the hard disk of that information, retrieving the separately in the storage of the databases only. That is the main thing. Other optical storage devices in the that is previously what is the methodology they are the following the previously the floppy disk is the going on. That is already gone. Is secondary generation is came. That is called as CDC came. CDC is also after that the DVD came. So this is all the source of that information. And again, optical storage devices. The optical storage devices is the warm products, which is the white ones. The read many times also enabled the optical disks many of the products. So this is called as a CD DVD RAMs. The CD is only once where the writing the CD and again there is no corrections, no error to removing and again the copying. Once we are the using the CD, that is will be that information will be storing one contemporary, one content of that information only. In the DVDs, there is no read and writable. That means, for example, I am the storing the 2022 years of that books information only. So okay, that will be stored. And again, in this academic year, the 2022 is not required. Again, I am erasing the entirely the data 2022. I am copying the 2002, 2023, erasing the 23 years of the data in the story. That type of the optical disc, so that is an optical storage devices. That type of the devices came that is called as a DVD devices. That is one thing. And writing the data on CD DVD. So the writing data means is the same thing in the copy. For example, I have one lecture notes is there, or other library total action register is there. I am copying in the CD. It will be converted into the DVD. So immediately we will convert into the CD to DVD. So that type of that patterns, the rewriting of that patterns is there, and also compact disc interactive. So compact disc interactive, that means in the the CD will be available in our hands anytime, any place. You can access to the information from the users of that library end. That is one contemporary. And multimedia products. So multimedia products means it will be today is the what is that multimedia products. So CD DVDs is called as a multimedia sector. That means where the copying the movies, we have the copying, estimate copying, and statistical data, the tables, any one of that information we are the copying. So n number of that multi-purpose of the tasking, multi-variables in the DVDs is accessible. So multimedia products mean in the, for example, in the movie is there, in the cinema is there, any one of the new cinema is came, the people will be releasing the songs, new songs is the releasing. MP3 audio immediately it will be released into the musical stores. So that CD and DVD will be available. So that type of that purpose in the multimedia, that also, and also movie will be released. So once the movie, any one of the movie, the once 1 year is the completed, the movie it will be copying in the DVDs. The people will be the concerning the authorized copyright of the people. They are the sold the movie CDs, DVDs. So that type of that multimedia facility, n number, that is the audio and visual system, both are accessible in the CDs. And online, that is one contemporary. And also online versus CD-ROM DVDs. So online content today is the OTTs is there. So online content and online content versus CD-ROM DVDs. So we can explain in this area. So what is that variables here? Did you like to back to the enriching of the CD-ROM and DVD-ROM? True, it will be agreed. So online in searching of that information. So online you can easily to any one of the catalog, any one of that information, any one of the world-wise URLs, world website, you can access and you will get it that information. So that is the world-wise easiest of that way to access. And the CD and the DVD-ROM, how can it is the possible to access? No. So how can it is the possible to access? Only in the single interface, single user, you can access only. So I have one CD, I have one DVD. So how it will be I'm watching that video and CD and DVD? Only for my laptop, my system, my network only, my computer only for the old. That is the where the inserting one of the CD DVD display did hard disk. So the drive only. After that, it will be readable and watchable the movie. So it is the how can it is the one place only, one person only can accessible. In the online content, n number of the people, any place where they sit there and you can searching the information easiest of that way. So on that basis, online content of that information easy to get it that any one of that anywhere. So easiest of that method. Now comparability, what is that the comparability here? So n number of the benefits are there in the comparability in the online system. So today in the based on the accessing database and when need. For example, in the online database, I am procuring one online database. So IEEE, ASME, AAC, this is all our online databases. For example, AACE is there, American Society of the Civil Engineering. ASME is there, American Society of the Mechanical Engineering. This online, I am as a civil engineering, I am a engineer. I am learning only for online journals of e-content of that information. So how did it get it on the AAC, American Society of the Civil Engineers in the world ways? America people, they are the publishing in the world ways, they are the serving the information. I am procuring the database anytime, anywhere I can access. So that facility is there in the online. In the CD-ROM, what based is there? The based on the acquiring of the processing of the data, based on that whatever here, whatever that information is the required, that only can acquiring. Here in the online, n number of which of that information you can easy it is the possible to access. Yeah, n number of the options is there, but here there is no such type of the option. And CVD is only one contemporary, one CD, one DVD only we can accessible to readable. And also in the second one, yes, online searching in the time to time readable to terms and charges, there is no pressure on the time to time and trends to the hurry up wide searching. So here is the online searching is there. Once we have the online facility is there, anytime we have to searching the browsing the browse the search engine tool. So if we need one of the basic information is there, basic information is the required. So what is the fundamentals of that management? So you can search it, you will take it. That is one contemporary. So fundamentals of that Drucker's management principles if you need. So Drucker principles, you can search it and you will get it. This type of that facilities is there in the online. Here, in-house of that facility, in the pressure on time. So here, what is that in the CD-ROM? CD-ROM only which place you are accessing, whether the home or any library only. So it will be only in the pressure of in time only. It will be searching. So how can it is possible? A number of the data it will be not visible. You have the one CD, only one CD. You can searching step by step way. So that is the pressure of the time. We did not do in timely. We did not get the information. It will be takes to the much more of the time. So the save of the time of the fourth law, it will be not useful to not to follow the as the library professional in the CD-ROM. And third one is setup and the cost are minimal. Here in the online system, cost is the minimalized. Because why? What is that reason? Because the people will be sold the information in the world ways to all the people. For example, in the ASCE is there, Online American Society of the Civil Engineering Journals. That journals in the American Stanford University, Harvard, or any one of the American university, or in India, top IITs, NITs, all engineering colleges, they are accessing. So a number of the users are there. That fellow people will be asking. So the people will be giving to the flexibility of the price to each of the people. So that is the easiest of that buy. So once we are the buying the product in the year by, once we have the taken this academic year in the January and next December, there is a flexibility of the time, which place of the time, if you need any of the time, you can access. That facility is there here in the online system. And here the CD DVDs, there is no such type of that cost minimized and multi-PC and needed. Here, if you have a CD DVD is there in your, how it will be readable? CD DVD can easily to readable? No, it's visible and not readable. So if you need the equipment, what is that? Whether the laptop or whether the desktop is the required. Once the instrument is there, then only we will inbuilt the CD DVD and then only will readable. So on that contemporary, it is not possible to easiest of the way in the CD DVD database. And also the database need to be purchased. So here online database system, what is that? Once we have the purchasing, this is the most important here. Once we have the purchasing the database in the yearly, so automatically every year we can procuring. Here in the licensed use of the 1 year only. So in the DVDs is called as a licensed for use of a year wise only. So for example, we have the taken to the CD-ROM database service. So this is the licensed version only, we can buy it only, not for the online. So this is the step by step of that process, is the very lengthy of that process. Here in the online mode, search engines features are very from that is the database to database. For example, here I am procuring one database. So bibliometrics of the library science. So here how to I am searching database to database. I am searching. So what is that? In the library sources and services of that information in the 1950 to 2000, how many publications is came? So comparability. In the 2022-23, how many publications is came? Comparison and analysis report, it will be possible to reading in the online facility is flexible. It is very accessible. Here in the CD DVD RAM, there is no such type of that facility providing searching about software coming to the CD DVDs only. Here, how it will be searching that information through only CD DVDs only. In the manual system, it is not a possible to searching the tool because in the online version you have the comparison of the both of. So here in the CD DVDs, there is no the comparability here. I am telling the totally to online online e-resources, online CD DVDs, bibliographical information, how it will be searching, what is the beneficiaries of that comparison I am telling to you. So that is the mainly. And the information is the updated and fast. So once I am once the database is that we are procuring in the online information is the very step that fast. For example, in the yesterday one information one event is coming, one information is came. So automatically the people will be uploaded that information to the database. So yeah, those who are the subscribers or vendors are there, the vendor who will get it that information. So easiest way simply in the world ways it will be spreading the information. So just like as the COVID. So COVID is came to the China only, but it will be reflected to world ways. So what is that? So how did it be setting information only? But Google is, what is that? Google is the working. What is the Google is the software company? Tell me. So Google, what is that main role? Anybody can tell me what is that Google? Whether the that is a search engine or a software company?
Google is a software company.
Search engine.
Searching.
Google is not a software company. Google is not a only information company. So they are the information. Google is only not a software company. Google is only for the information. That is just like as a paper. Searching, that is why. What is that reason? They are the collecting and providing that information in the world ways. So that's why the people will be hiring the people only in the technology peoples. But actually, the Google is only to working for providing the only in the basic information company only. So you can see how much of that cost in the world wise. What is that cost of that equipment? Cost of that one? Tell me. What is that world wise in the cost of the item today in the knowledge society? Information is the cost of that weapon to the world wise. So, for example, there is no COVID is came in the China. It will be not aware of that all the people. How it will be aware of that to caution to preventive of that COVID. So, yeah, information is the very weapon. So, on that basis, Google is the only information search engine tool only. The people will be collecting the world ways. For example, you will see the people will be paid the money to the satellite to. That is the satellite inside satellite too. They are the paying the crores of that money. Why? What is that reason? They are the providing the Google Maps. So Google Maps, how it will be getting through the satellites only. So the Indian Space Research Organization, the people will be inserting one of that satellite in the sky. Automatically, the reflected to the indications of that route mappings to the servers. So the server, it will be connected to the Google. Google, it will be connected to the n number of the servers to the world ways. So automatically it will be reflected to Mayapur to Hyderabad. So Mayapur to Amirpet. So how many kilometers? What is the distance? How did we get it? That the total it will be reflected only for the information only. So on that basis, that is called as a Google is only for search engine. So that is called as search information center only. Google is called as a information center. So you can see in the old ways, the people will be hiring the software of that people. What is that? That is not a software company. They are the creating that accounts and providing that information. So on that basis here, this is online system. It will be n number of the flexibilities, n number of the features are available here. That is the mainly updated to day fast. In the update here in the CD DVD ROMs, the updated information very slowly because the CD ROMs, the people will be that last month it will be gone, and the next month the people will be done that entering the data in the next month only. So it will be takes to the much more of the time. That is not a possible. And also data here in the online system. So in the data is available in the last few years information also. For example, if you need the 1950 to 2023 around in the 73 days, 73 years of that information you can require in the any one of the bibliographical content of that information here online, easiest of the way in the indexing, abstracting of that methodology, it will be reflected here. And remaining here, in the CD DVD ROMs, they did not reflected here. It will be once monthly wise only, or monthly wise in the CDs it will be available. So in the month wise, you have the searching and collecting the information in the CD DVD ROMs only. And most of the bibliography is in the abstracts. So for example, in the online system, the most of the information will be abstracting. So abstracting information, for example, chemical abstracts. So how many publications is chemical abstracts? Easily in the chemical engineering, easily to find out in the online system, the total abstract only here. Abstracts it will becomes in the multimedia full test of that are common here. In the CD DVD ROMs, the total information will be reflected. For example, in the chemical process system is there in the chemical engineering. So chemical processing system, how it will be working, the entirely DD, CVD, it will be available here. But here in the online abstract, what is that? What is the chemical formula you have applied? How it will be functioning easiest of that way. In the quickest information, they are the abstracting, that is called as a quick information. They are the providing in the online system only. And also Here, n number of the vendors are connecting to the online only. The online data, online vendors there. If you need any of that query, automatically the people will be connecting to you on chat box, and what type of the doubts we have, immediately the people will be providing the information to you. Here, always in house only. For example, we are searching in the library. So in the multimedia facility that is called as a DVDs. So which place you have the searching only for the in-house only. That means you have the sitting of the place, in the sitting of the library, in the sitting of the R&D center. That only. Here in the online system, n number of the abstracting, n number of the people are available in the chat point box. Once we are the clicking on that, automatically the clients are coming to the online. What are the problem you have, immediately to solve the issue. So such type of the online system and CD systems in the comparisons are here. And the such services is the loaded but cannot contacting searching into the charges here. In the search engines, n number of the search engines we are the doing here, they did not do chargeable in the online system. So once we have the paid that one time of the payment of that procuring the online abstracting indexing servicing system in the online abstracting system, they did not to pay and again. So here the CD DVDs can be giving the loan. So sometimes the information is not full-fledged available in our library. So you can ask to the some inter-library loan facility, someone else for the debt and etc. We can ask him, so I need such type of the information is not available to me. So please kindly to help me. To asking the LIS professionals or ILL inter-library loan facility to asking to the top of that libraries. So such type of the problems are there in the CD and DVDs here. So here, online system, online database, online vendor choice is there in the databases of vendors. So which type of that information you can require under which choice? So what type of that information is required? Here in the restricted CD DVDs, you only buy only. For example, in the CD DVDs is there. So what are the information is there in the CD DVDs? That information only reflected for you only. So here there is no such type of that option to asking. So in our library, in our central database, Indian abstracts, and the bibliographic information, what type of that information they are the stored, that type of that information only, it will be available in the CD DVD ROMs only. And the rest of that information, for example, if you need latest content of the 2023 literature review, if you required, it will be not available. In the CD DVD online, it will be available. In the CD DVD exam, in the 2022 information only available. So that type of the problems are there here. That is the mainly. So here amount of the data online is a very hard. That means called this is the amount we will pay. It will be commercial of the database. So once it will be commercial, we will pay. It will be getting that more services. In the limited to set up the CD and DVDs here. In the online, in the CD DVD ROMs, it is the limited CDs and DVDs of setup. Lakhs of the CD DVDs, it will be not available. Hundreds of the CD DVDs is only available for concerning the subject of that area. So I am the chemical engineering. I need the chemical process. So the chemical process system 5 to 10 CDs is only available. Here in the number of the content of information, it will be available. So that is the main thing. And here, are you understanding? Are you understanding, please? అర్థమవుతుందండి?
అర్థమవుతుంది సార్.
Yes, sir, understanding.
యా, ఎవరైనా తెలుగు మీడియం ఉన్నారా?
కొంచెం తెలుగులో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయండి సార్. అర్థమవుతుంది కానీ కొంచెం.
ఈ బిబ్లియోగ్రఫీ
సార్ ఇది సర్చింగ్ ఫెసిలిటీసా?
సర్చింగ్ ఫెసిలిటీస్ అండి. సర్చింగ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అండ్ రిట్రీవల్ ద సిస్టమ్. So terminology is quite differentiated to teach the Telugu, that is called as చెప్పొచ్చండి. అదే బిబ్లియోగ్రఫీ రెఫరెన్సెస్ అంటే మీకు ఇంకా కొంచెం వ్యవహారికంగా ఉండదు అది. అంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్, ఎందుకంటే మీరు కమ్యూనికేషన్ కూడా అది ఏంటంటే మీకు ఏంటంటే ఒకటే కంపారిజన్ మనం చూసుకోవాలి. ఆన్లైన్ లో జర్నల్స్, ఆన్లైన్ లో డేటాబేస్ ఏంటంటే రెఫరెన్స్ సర్వీసెస్. బిబ్లియోగ్రఫికల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంటే రెఫరెన్స్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్స్, అంటే ఒక బుక్ సంబంధించిన సమాచారాన్ని మనం ఎలా సేకరిస్తామో, ఎలా తీసుకుంటాం అన్నప్పుడు, ఆన్లైన్ లో తీసుకున్నప్పుడు అంతా కూడా ఎలా ఉంటుంది అనేది మనం తీసుకొని దాన్ని ఆన్లైన్ లో ఉన్న ఉపయోగాలు వాటిని చెప్పగలుగుతాము. అండ్ సివిడి డివిడిస్ లో ఉన్న ఏంటంటే ప్రీవియస్ లో బిఫోర్ ఆఫ్ దట్ 2000 వరకు ఏంటంటే సిడిడివిస్ లో అంత డేటాబేస్ అంతా స్టోర్
కనెక్షన్ బాగా రావట్లేదు, కనెక్షన్ లేదు.
వినిపిస్తుందండి? ఆర్ యు ఆడిబుల్ రైట్ నౌ?
సార్ ఓకే.
Yes, sir.
So that is the here. The next one is the searching information retrieval the system. So searching information and retrieval system means in the document characteristics. So for example, as a user, we need some of that information. So how did we be searching the once I am searching that information? So that is the title of that called as searching information and retrieval systems means once I am one of the new user, I am the new person. I am searching one of that information in the Google, so or any one of the research database. So immediately I am asking fundamentals of library science or principles of that library science. So immediately it will be retrieval. Immediately it will be showing the screen on the screen. So I am searching files of that library science. So once I am searching in the Google or any one of the database, what is the fundamentals of that files of that library science? So automatically it will be reflected on the screen. So that is called as a retrieval. So retrieval systems means, so once I am using this once I am searching that information, the information it will be retrieving, it will be provided to the on the screen. So automatically those I am as a user, I am asking that information it will be reflected on the screen. That is called as a searching of that information and retrieving of that information. And document and characteristics here, in the bibliographical content, what type of the how it will be getting that information? So what is that main reason? In the several databases, several characteristics are there. So how it will be find out here? For example, we have the whose database is there. So in the bibliographical content means, so around in the 1952 or which year, for example, for example, in the fluid mechanics is there, engineering stream. So in mechanical fluid mechanics, when will be started around in the 1900 onwards, in the French Revolution onwards, in the what is the functioning going on each and everything in the 1900 to 2023, it will be continuously grow up. So each of the academic year, each of the year, how many books are came, how many publications are came, n number of the bibliographical database is there in the world wise. So how it will be get it? So once I am the searching in the toolbar, I am the searching the information of the information. So how did we get it? Whose data will be reflected on the screen? So what is the shortage of that method? In the Google Drive, I am searching information. So immediately it will be I need in the mechanical engineering. Mechanical engineering is around in the 19 ancient days onwards, it will be reflected the information. Here in the shortcut of that methodology, it will be reflected just like as the author. So for example, if you need the engineering mechanics, if you need the engineering mechanics by author Kurmi. Kurmi is the familiar author of the engineering mechanics. So once you will search it in the engineering mechanics by Kurmi. So how many books are came? The Kurmi wrote that books. That Kurmi books, it will be reflected through the author name only. That is one contemporary of that bibliographical character. That is called as a characteristics. That means you are the searching the directly, it will be reflected the whose data. It is not possible to filtration to collecting the acquiring what is the exact of that information. So the only for the author name is the Kurmi in the engineering mechanics, easily to find out. That is one contemporary. You ISBN. So what is the for ISBN? International Standard Bibliographical Number. So that is the ISBN is the standard unique of the number. So why? What is that reason? In the world ways, all the books are publishing. The engineering mechanics, several people are in India, in the Hyderabad, or world ways. All IIT professors are in India, or in the UK, Russia, in the world way, in the 7 continental. All the people they are publishing the book. So each of the people will be wrote the engineering mechanics. So each of that country, each of that book, they are giving to the one of the unique number. That is called as the ISBN. In India, worldwide ISBN, International Standard Book Number. What is the called as International Book Number? It will be reflected the one of that book number. For example, engineering mechanics wrote by the Kurmi. That number, how many digits of that ISBN number? Tell me, please. Anyone?
13.
Yeah, 13 numbers is IS. And the previously, how many digits of that ISBN number, please?
10.
Yeah, 10. Right now is the 13. So this the 3 digits is the increasing. So you can see the Google directly go there and search to see each of that indication, each of the 3 characteristics, one unique of that number that is allocated of that each of that book. So one book to another book, there is no same number, there is no same sequence. So each of that book, each of the ISBN number, it will be reflected. So on that basis here, in the research searching tool, author index, and also ISBN, and also ISSN. So what is the stands for ISSN, please?
International Standard. International Standard
Book number.
number.
That is called as a ISBN is called as a International Standard Book Number. ISSN is called as a International Standard Serial Number. So serial number. ISSN number, which of that purpose they are using? What is the purpose they are using? This is that number it will be using only for journals only, not for the magazines. That it will be reflected only for the journals purpose they are using. So okay, the ISBN is the using only for books. ISSN International Standard Serial Number, it will be reflected for the only for the journals. You can see behind of that page of the last page of that main journal, the ISSN number is the reflected any one of the journal, in the familiar journal. Okay, so that is the unique of that number for the journal purpose. They are the for books they are the publishing. They are the allocated the book number, that is called as a ISBN. In the journals also, in the world where so many journals are came. So how did it be significance? How did it be identified? It's the same thing. ISSN is there. International Standard Serial Number. It will be reflected to the journal name and the type of the documents. In the some textbooks is the HB is there and PB is there. So what is that PB and what is that HB? Some stands for some libraries. They did not to speak to the full-fledged abbreviations. So you can buy the PB. The people will be telling. So what is that paperback? So PB is called as a paperback. So paperback book is the cost of the less. For example, Fundamentals of the Physics is there, PB. That is called as a paperback. It will be worth of 400. And the HB is there, hardbound. So that is the hardbound of that copy. That is the thin bounded and oil printing of that quoted the standard binding of that book. So that is the worth of 3,000 or 4,000. So according to the standards of that HB and PB, paperback, hardbound copies, it will be reflected to the quality of that books and the quality of that publications. It will be reflected to the documentation, that is called as a author affiliations. For example, in the author affiliations, my name is there. Which is the college I'm working, and so I'm working one of the engineering college. So my other affiliation is only for which application, which is that college only. You are the student, you are the wrote the one of that article publishing. So what is that your affiliation? IGNO only. You are the student of the IGNO, Indira Gandhi National Open City. You are the affiliation for IGNO. So that type of that, as a working as a, as a faculty, I am publishing my research paper. I'm my Mallikarjuna is the librarian. I am working with B.V. Raju Engineering College. So I have mentioned any of the research paper, any of that article. I have mentioned my publication of that my college name only. So immediately it will be reflected to the college name. It will be searching in the bibliographical database. In the n number of that, how many publications are there on that under the name of that college? It will be reflected to the bibliographical database. That is author affiliation and year of the publication. So here in the searching of the tools, year of the publication, the 2023, how many publications is there? Year wise is the statisticals of the graph data. For example, in the year, how many books are we the publishing? So for example, in our library, in this academic year 2023, we have the purchasing the 500 books. 2022, we have the purchasing 8,000 books. 2021, we have the publishing 300 books. So the graph image of the data, it will be reflected in the publication of that image of that information of your publication. That is the reason, that is the searching of the option. In case if you need any of that, in this academic year 2023, how many publications is there? So which journal is the published? Year wise, it will be reflected the information by the user facility purpose and the title and etc. For example, in the database, n number of that information, the bibliographical n number of the bibliographical information is there. but we need only for the title content of that information. The title content of that information, what type of that information is required, that information only will get it through the title based only. So for example, you directly to searching on the title, automatically on the name of the title, how many articles, how many books are there, any information is there, any documentary is there, directly it will be reflected to the screen and we will get it that information in the area. And also the database may be including several types of the documents like books and periodicals and articles and reports. Yeah.
Sir, this is 05 paper, sir.
Yes, 5 paper only. 5 paper and unit number 10 only. Okay.
Unit number
10.
10.
Yeah.
Application for information technology. Yeah?
Yes, IT only, information technology.
Okay.
So in this contemporary, in the documents and like books, periodicals, articles, and reports and patents, thesis, and etc. So in the database is reflected so many informations are available in the library or any bibliographical information research database. For example, in the books. So what type of the books are there, whether physics or chemistry, according to the domain of that area, it will be reflected in the books. And the journals, what type of the journals is the required, it will be available, it will be showing the journals. And the publications, your faculty publications is there, how many publications is there, it will be reflected. And also patents. For example, as the faculty, they are the publishing one of the one innovation of that information. They are the that is called as they are the getting the patent on the practical experiment. They are the getting the new innovation. They are the getting that patent in the government of India. They are the providing the patent. That type of that patents also it will be reflected to the directly in the search engine tools. For example, I have some 3 patents. So what type of that patents is there in the government of India? They are the providing the patent certification. So once it will be clicked in that my name in the patents, automatically it will be in our name, the 3 patents are reflected, you can see. So it will be reflected easiest of that way to understanding the bibliographical information. So in IAS, in the Indian research database, now in India, IAS Bangalore is there. In the India, toppest research center in India, not for the IITs, not of the any universities. Only IAS Indian Institute of Sciences Bangalore is the toppest center in the research in the world wise, the toppest 100 ranks of that university only for the IISc. So that type of the rankings it will be reflected to how it will be assessment of that institution is the best institution, top institution is the number 1 institution. So how it will be reflected, that is called as the NIRF. So that is the national ranking framework, national ranking framework network in India, national Indian ranking framework. So it will be, what is that Indian ranking framework? So how many the people will be providing the ranking system, NIRF. So National Indian Ranking Framework, that is reflected to the IIT Chennai is the first place. Second is the Guwahati. Third is the 8th is the Hyderabad. So such type of that parameters, how it will be there the providing according to the analysis of the bibliographical analysis only. For example, in Hyderabad, CBIT is the top engineering college or BVRIT top engineering college or MVSR top engineering college or JNTU top engineering college. How it will be get it that info assess of that institution is the best one. There are several parameters. Likewise, in the faculty, how many doctorates is there? The faculty main thing, and secondly, the institution DST projects. The government of India, that is they are the provided to the director of science and technology. They are allocated the science project works. So how many DST projects is came? How many major projects patents is there, how many publications is there. So this is all are the how many placements are came the institution last year. This is all are the parameters. They are the counting and calculating. They are the giving to the assessment of this institution is the worldwide the good rank of that number 1 institution is IIT Madras. Why they are the giving this type of that parameter, that is called as a bibliometric analysis of that information. So once this is the key role of that librarian, as how it is that the entire institution, what is that rank number, institution rank number, how many patents is there in our institution, how many faculty publications, scopus publications are there, Web of Science publications are there, H-index of that publications is there, what is the stands for H-index, H-index called as a author publication. So such type of that all parameters you know as the librarian, then only you will succeeded and as a caliber of that librarian. So such type of that nowadays in the previous days they gone. Librarian is the issuing the books and return the books. So such type of the tendencies they gone. Today is only for caliber to assessment. That is the mainly. Okay. So in this contemporary, this all are it will be reflected to the parameters of document and the characteristics. It will be reflected through the online and the indexing language. So indexing language is also one of the main parameter here. Indexing is reflected to the language. So markup languages here, language of the system which is generally reflected in indexing languages. So indexing language means in the English is the familiar where the what type of the binary system, the computer once I am searching information, it will be taken to the binary of the coding, it will be reflected to the againly algorithms of the data, it will be reflected to the transmitting, accurating of that information to the screen. So such type of the indexing of that language, it will be applicable here. In this research, this is the searching of the tool and also user requirements. So any one of the database in the toolbar is there, the researcher database is there, just like as a Google or Bing or any one of the Yahoo, any one of the search engine. So what is that main agenda? User requirements. For example, regularly in the Google, what type of the information they are searching? So train reservations, bus reservations, or flight tickets. So train timings, each and everything they are the searching the Google. So immediately user requirement, what type of that information is the required? Immediately that type of the platform of the applications, it will be reflected to the on the database. So in the online, in the user requirements, for example, in the databases, the people in the technical version of the people, they're the monitoring to engaging the see the content. So what type of that information that people will be asking easily to find out and watching and providing the database the accurate information to the user community. And matching records. For example, we are searching that information, the statements and statements or any one of the information systems retrieves the information same to same. For example, I am searching the 2022 Indian bank rates. So matching the records. For example, what is the exactly about anywhere in any people to see in 2022 State Bank of India, that is the rate of interest. So easily it will be showing. So in the any search engine, it will be showing the same document, it will be reflected, same rate, that is the interest rate. So that type of the matching of the data, matching statements in the executing the retrieval system in the retrieves. So matching the information, for example, I am searching the only for bank interest rates. The search engine tool also will be searching only on the contemporary of that area. That is the mainly. And searching methodology. So here the searching of the methodology of the different databases, different applications are approaching in the algorithms. So in the what type of the user community, the people will be asking satisfactory of the result and the appropriating of that information. Those who are the faculty or any one of the user, they are the asking that type of that information. They are the collecting the information and providing the Google database. For example, in the Google is their search engine. So what type of that information, the majority of the people they are asking, that type of that information they'll be providing. Otherwise, the people will not for example, in the Hyderabad, in the common people, in the public common people, they are watching the bus information. So bus information is also only. So that it will be showing in this information. So they are asking the bus information, they'll be showing the NASA information, will be reflected here. It is not possible. No, searching methodology is accurately those are the information you are searching, the type of the information will be reflected, easy way to understand the people. That is the main thing. Transaction, that is the transactions means what type of that information where the asking the type of the transaction of that information. So in this academic year, what type of that information we are searching in the research is search engine. So the search engine will reflect in this month, in this date, this much of that information you are the searching, so on that the so and so of that information. The summary it will be reflected. Just like as a Scopus database is there. In the Scopus, how many publications is there? So for example, in the Scopus publications, in the COVID affected people in the Hyderabad from 2019 to 2023. So if we need the searching of the tool in the Scopus, immediately it will be showing the graph data, statistical data, how many people are affected. That information, those who are officially in the government hospital, they are the entered the data. That information, accurate of that information, recorded information, it will be showing. So that type of the major informations that is reflected here. that is the urgency and string searching and the field limits of the searching. So on the search engine, there is no limitation. It will be reflected to the full text of that information. It will be browsing the A to Z, all the database, what type of that information is in the database, indexing of the database, entirely some type of the data, full text of that information, it will be reflected to the on the screen. And the fields of the limit search, some fields is there, some fields it will be limited information it will be showing. And also access field is ready simple synchronization. So read simple synchronization means, for example, regularly in the my database is there, I am passionate communication system. I am only for electrical engineering. I need only electromagnetic fields. Once you are the copying one of that folder in the electromagnetic field and leave it and creating one of that account in the database. So every day in the any time the electromagnetic field one of that article it will be came in the database automatically. By default it will be stored in our bibliographical database. In our we have the created one of that folder. So automatically the information it will be stored in the bibliographical database. So immediately the entirely that information will be stored in the database. Automatically the same on CC copy it will be dropping in our box. Once we will open to see, we did not to go to search and check it, how many electromagnetics articles are there in our topic, no need to see. Once we will see the RSS field automatically, how many articles in this month it will be published automatically, it will be reflected one of that folder to your account. So that is the simplest of that RSS field, which will be reflected simplest of that way to providing the communication of that information as the librarian. We are creating that one of that account and providing to the client user. Automatically the people will be getting the quick information. That is one thing. So limiting. So limitations also is there any one of the place according to the limitation of the charges. For example, I'm the bulk user. I did not to downloading at a time in the 30 to 40 articles. So limitation I need on the research of that point of view. I need in the 10 articles it will be downloadable. It is accessible. 100 of the articles at a time it is not possible. Any one of that research user it is not possible. 100 documents we have the downloaded. It will be called as just like as a cloning or any other commercialization. Easiest of that way the servers will be carry the information. Common people the server it will be generating 100 documents. You can identify the server it will be sending the question. So that type of that limitations and awareness and cautions they are the providing, and that is the mainly. And in spirit and the examples of the search engine softwares. So here the search engine softwares is there in the librarian. So it is the librarian is an intermediary. So that is called as a librarian will get it that more knowledge, more acquiring, then only the providing the quality of that information to the all the user community. User interfaces like as they were like for search engines. So just user interface and what type of that information the people will be asking. So easily to identify that they can providing such type of that accurate information. That is the easiest of that way. That is the interface, user interfaces for search engines. So the user interfaces it will be reflected. For example, I'm asking the that is the I'm asking one fundamentals of physics. So if you providing that type of the accurate information, the user will be very satisfied. In case it will be showing n number of the documents, it will be difficulty to understanding the problem. So that type of that user interface is also on contemporary, and the commands and menus. So here sometimes it will be commanding also it will be helpful. Just like as the RSS fields, once you are the creating the command, so automatically it will be reflected and storing the database in your profile. And menus of the project, that is menus is the presenting in the various options from the which is user choose. So menus, so that is called as you are the creating one of that menu. So what type of the information is required, easiest of that way it will be reflected the information. So simply we did not to go to the directly in the in-depth of these things. Simplify easily to find out what type of that information you can require in the bibliographical database, easily to find out. That is the main thing. And natural language and interface. Natural language is common phenomena. So today in India, all the people they are asking the majority of the people in English. In the Spanish and Chinese, the people will be choosing in his language, in his mother tongue only. So in the Chinese and Japanese, that type of that language. So here the natural language is called as HTML hypertext transmission of that language. It will be reflected, and voice. That is the main thing. Graphical indexing. Graphical indexing of the database means any graph data, any one of the image of that information. For example, one picture is there. That image it will be reflected the one of the standard visualization of that picture only it will be reflected. So that is the standard of that picture. One picture is the big size, one picture is the small size. It will be not showing that type of these things. All the features of that characteristics will be showing one standard of the procedures only. And also icons. So icons also is the one is the big and one small. That is our choice only. So which is the icons is the suitable to us. Then only you can feed up that one. And the expert and interface. Expert in the bibliographical online research data. So expert and interfaces is there in the chart box and window boxes is there. If you need any of the problem, any of the downloading of the problem, so automatically in the chat box or window box that we are connecting to the content, the people automatically will be connecting through the online. The people will be giving to the suggestions. What is the problems and what is the suggestions for you on that area. And the search engines of the search engine searching to the internet. So searching is the internet. You know all these things people today. So any one of that information is required directly. The people will be going to the Google Mata and searching. So how it will be working through the Google Mata? Only internet based only. Without of the internet, the Google or search engines of Yahoo, Bing, or any one of the research that is the search engine, it will be not working. So all the search engines are working through only internet based only. Without of that internet based, the search engines are not working. So this is the main thing of that lessons. So this is the end of the lesson of that unit number 10. So this is the brief of that information. Any doubts, please? So this lesson is over. Only this lesson it will be covered only for the searching bibliographical information tools and techniques only. So how it will be working. So offline system, what is that mode? So online system, what is the mode? So what is the transactions, transactions, how it will be working? So this is the basic information.
Truncation means what, sir?
Sorry?
Truncation అంటే ఏంటి? TRUNCATION.
ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ అంటే సమాచారం పంపించడం అండి. అంటే అందచేయడము. ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ అంటే మనం ఏదైతే ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అడిగామో ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ని సర్చ్ ఇంజిన్ టూల్ లో మనం అందచేయడం ట్రాన్స్మిషన్. సో ఐఎమ్ సర్చింగ్ గూగుల్ ఇట్ విల్ బి ట్రాన్స్మిటెడ్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. నేను ఏమైతే అడిగానో దానికి సమాధానం ఇవ్వడం. ట్రాన్స్మిటింగ్ అంటే మనకు సమాధానం బదులు ఇవ్వడం, ఆన్సరింగ్ ఇవ్వడం.
ట్రంకేషన్ అని ఉంది. ట్రంకేషన్
Truncation is
172.
Truncation is quite differentiative.
Differentiation.
Truncation is quite transmission differentiative. Truncation is quite differentiative.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right, Andy.